This map of the Holy Roman Empire after 1648 is the one the most frequently used when referring to the empire. It's seen everywhere from online images to textbooks and educational videos. And that is a major problem, because the map is, in fact, blatant misinformation. Here's the correct map. See the difference? Italy is, for no good reason, absent from the more common maps of the Holy Roman Empire. The 1648 Peace of Westphalia and Munster, which effectively destroyed the Holy Roman Empire as a relevant political unit on its own, did indeed confirm that the Netherlands and Switzerland were no longer part of the empire, but the same is not true for the Italian territories that the empire still had. Therefore, the duchies and republics of Savoy, Milan, Parma, Genoa, Modena, Reggio, Tuscany, and a few others were still part of the Holy Roman Empire until the Napoleonic Wars. Collectively, these territories were formally known as the Kingdom of Italy, and it was a constituent part of the Holy Roman Empire. So even though the Austrian Habsburgs, whose members held the title of Holy Roman Emperor, had more direct power over Hungary than Italy, Italy was still a part of the Holy Roman Empire while Hungary was not. Nonetheless, the authority of the Holy Roman Emperor over Italy considerably strengthened after the wars of Spanish and Polish succession, which saw Spain and the Austrian Habsburgs exchange several Italian territories, leaving Milan, Mantua, and Tuscany as direct imperial fiefs of the Holy Roman Emperor. Other, non-Habsburg Italian states in the Kingdom of Italy had significantly more autonomy, just like most of the non-Habsburg German states in the empire. But officially they were still vassals of the Holy Roman Empire. Even fiercely defiant Savoy recognized the suzerainty of the Holy Roman Emperor. Rulers of Savoy also received the title of Grand Duke directly from the Emperor, and were represented in the Imperial Diet, the main governmental body of the Holy Roman Empire. This list of Imperial Diet participants in 1792 clearly marks Savoy as part of the Holy Roman Empire. Additionally, in 1788 the Prussians backed the prospect of raising Savoy to the status of an electorate in the empire. All this special treatment definitely meant Savoy was one of the most powerful states in Italy. An incentive for Savoy's smaller neighbors to ally with the Austrian Habsburgs and remain part of the Holy Roman Empire too. For example, Cosimo III of Tuscany, who reigned until 1723, frequently paid the Holy Roman Emperor his feudal dues, as did other states in the Kingdom of Italy. The Kingdom of Italy also sent troops to the army of the Holy Roman Empire as much as the German and Bohemian states did whenever a Reichskrieg, or imperial war, was declared, usually against France or Turkey. Loyalty of the Italian states to the Holy Roman Emperor was confirmed in 1696 too, when they collectively renewed their oaths of allegiance. So now we know that the Italian section of the empire remained imperial territory even after 1648, and that they played an active part in the geopolitics of the empire as well. But then, when exactly did the Kingdom of Italy cease to be a part of the Holy Roman Empire, if not 1648? The answer lies between 1797 and 1801. During that time, the French Republic repeatedly invaded Italy, subverting Austrian influence from the region. Treaties of Campo Formio and Luneville signed between Napoleon Bonaparte and Emperor Francis II eventually forced the emperor to finally relinquish his claims to the Kingdom of Italy in favor of new Austrian gains in Venice, Verona, and Dalmatia. Only a few years later, the entire Holy Roman Empire would be abolished too, in the wake of Napoleon's conquests in Central Europe. And that leads us to a final question. If Italy did indeed continue to be a part of the Holy Roman Empire as late as the final days of the empire itself, then why do maps refuse to show it that way after 1648? I've constructed a few theories, but all of them are implausible and can be easily debunked. Firstly, most Italian states were not represented in the Reichstag or Diet of the Empire. However, the exception is Savoy, and these maps don't show Savoy as part of the empire, so this doesn't make sense. Secondly, most Italian states were also left uncircled, or provincially undefined. Once again, Savoy is the exception since the duchy was part of an imperial circle in the empire. It makes even less sense considering that Bohemia is usually included in these 1648 maps of the Holy Roman Empire even though Bohemia was left uncircled. Unlike Savoy, which isn't in these maps. A counter-argument to this can be made by pointing out the fact that the Holy Roman Emperor actually ruled Bohemia. But then that doesn't explain the exclusion of similarly uncircled territories that the emperor ruled too, like Milan and Tuscany. Thus, This theory isn't a good explanation either. Thirdly, Italy might be absent because Charles V was the last emperor to physically possess the title King of Italy by holding the Iron Crown of Lombardy. Yet, this didn't stop future Holy Roman emperors from claiming that title, as well as their suzerainty over the Kingdom of Italy until 1792 or 1802. And finally, perhaps mapmakers decided to leave out Italy after 1648 because the empire's loss of Switzerland essentially made the Kingdom of Italy an exclave. So including it would look confusing on a map. If so, then that's lazy for a map used for formal purposes. All in all, there isn't really a convincing reason to not include Italy in post-1648 maps of the Holy Roman Empire, and frankly it's quite bizarre how so few have noticed this too. Thanks for watching.